Okay, good morning. So let's start with active and passive, right?
Yeah.
Before that, we have to revise the tense part. So let me give you a sentence and try to change the same to different forms. After that, we can move to active and passive. Okay. As you know all these things, just don't want to focus on the technical terms and all I already told you. Just connect where we can use it, then apply the same thing. Okay. So I'm going to talk about my habitual action. What tense is it? It is my
I did not hear you.
suppose I'm talking about habitual actions, my habits, my daily routine, or the things that I do repeatedly. So, what is the tense there? Can you
What is
hear
the
me?
tense? Ma'am, you're asking
Yes.
what is the tense?
Yeah, what is that tense? Suppose I'm talking about everyday actions or weekly action. Yeah, that's it. So, Amal can give us an example for that. After that, we can change the same.
I get up at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, so I get the first form of the action what is used there, right? I just simply mentioned anyway, you know how to do that. So I wake up at 6 o'clock every day. So simple present everyday actions. And we already told that if it is a general truth or fact, there also we have to apply a simple present. For example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, isn't it?
Ma'am, you're stuck.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, now.
Okay. So the thing is that, can you give me an example for general truth?
General?
General truth or facts. There also we use simple present. For example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Earth revolves around the sun.
Mm,
In such cases also we may use simple present. Okay? Can you give me an example or can you convert the same to present continuous, Fatima? Not the same. Okay, pick out another sentence because that sentence is only meant for habitual action, right? I play piano. So can you convert the same to present continuous?
I am playing a piano.
Yeah. What about the past continuous form of it, Adish?
I was playing.
Yeah, excellent. I was playing piano. So what is the present perfect form, Amal?
um,
What is the present perfect or recently happened things? That is
yeah,
what we have to.
recently happened.
Mm. If it is
I
a
was
recent
playing.
thing, what we have to apply there?
I have played piano.
Yeah, I have played. Ayu Devi have, he, she has. We have learned it, right? That way we have to. So you know how to distinguish between each tense. Am I right?
Yes.
So next is your active and passive part. This will be there for exams, so you have to keep attention on. As we have taken it a few months back, right? 1 month back.
Yes.
But have forgotten. That's why I'm revising all these things as we have only today for having revision and all. The other chapters you have to revise. So okay, I'm picking only the significant elements in grammar. Okay. Others you have to revise, prepare very well, have a plan for how to study all the things, how to schedule the subjects and all. Fine.
Ma'am?
Okay, I'm sharing it. active and passive, I think all the things are there, not there for the exam. Anyway, we have all these tenses. Sorry.
I'm muted.
Yeah. So you have all these tenses and their passive form. The simple future, then a past perfect continuous. All those things are not there. They are not having actually the passive form. The perfect continuous forms are not having the passive form. Okay. See, I'm revising only what we have already learned, right?
Jerry, this is the third time you've been late this week. You were needed in that meeting today. Fortunately, the deal was done, but it almost didn't happen.
I'm really sorry, but I was stuck in traffic. My car was sitting in the same spot for 30 minutes.
If you're getting stuck in traffic every day, then you should leave the house earlier.
I know, but that isn't the problem. Today was the first time that I was stuck in traffic. And it wasn't normal rush hour traffic either.
What do you mean?
Today, traffic was stopped by a zebra.
A zebra.
Yeah, I saw it. The zebra walked right in front of my car. It was almost hit by another car. Other animals were seen on the freeway too. It was crazy.
You expect me to believe that you were delayed by a zebra?
It's true. It was talked about on the radio. You should listen to the report. It is thought that the animals escaped from the zoo.
I'm going to have to check out your story. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for now. But what about yesterday? You were an hour late.
Yesterday, I was driving to work when my car was stopped by a policeman. I was pulled over, and the policeman told me I was under arrest.
Okay, which tense is used here? Which tense?
Passive voice.
Sorry?
Passive voice.
Okay, so which tense?
Passive.
Yeah, simple past tense, right.
Really? Why?
The policeman said that my car had been seen at the scene of a crime.
It sounds like you're making up stories. Did that really happen?
It's all true. When I was pulled over, the policeman asked me to get out of the car. My hands were handcuffed behind my back. He said that my car had been seen on the camera of a gas station that had been robbed.
Well, you made it to work somehow. How did you get away?
The policeman got a call on his radio saying that the robbers had been caught by another policeman. They were being held in custody. The policeman let me go, but half an hour had already passed. I drove to work as quickly as I could.
Well, if that's true, then I understand. But what about Monday? I remember you coming in late then, too.
That was because my car was stolen. I woke up Monday morning and my car was gone. The police were notified immediately. I was forced to drive my wife's car and drop her off at her workplace, which took some extra time.
I see. Why didn't you tell me?
It wasn't a big deal at the time. My car was found by the police a few hours later, and I was only 15 minutes late to work.
Okay, but try to be on time from now on. I need to be able to rely on you, especially for meetings like the one we had today.
I promised to try to be on time, but I need you to understand that none of these things were my fault. These things happened to me, and there was nothing I could do to avoid them.
They were forced to go on foot once the stolen vehicle was found by the police. The robbed cash hasn't been recovered yet. The robbers are now being questioned by the police.
See? So here onwards tense changes, okay? How to identify what is it, okay? Yeah, well, that's okay. So till here we have learned simple past and the passive form, right? Here onwards the tense will change, some slight changes. For example, it may change to present perfect and present continuous, okay?
Yes, I agree, if your stories are true. But come on, they're a little unbelievable.
Well, they're true. I hope you won't hold them against me.
And this just in. The men who had been robbing the gas stations in the area have been arrested by the police. They had stolen the car of a local man, but they were forced to go on foot once the stolen vehicle was found by the police. The robbed cash hasn't been recovered yet.
Actually, all the news reports will be reporting things happened recently, right? So the most of the tenses will be present perfect. Have you noticed that? The reporting the things recently happened. So the tense will be mostly present perfect. So here they have used the passive form of present perfect. Okay, instead of saying directly, they have used like the robbers robbed car hasn't been recovered. Hasn't been. So I already told you, if you change present perfect to passive form, we have to use a been. If it is present continuous, we have to use being. For example, thieves have stolen the car. Thieves have stolen the car. Thing will be like the car has been stolen by thieves. Okay. Got it? Then another example. Okay, we are preparing food. We are
Ma'am, but I thought passive was an active voice is like the police arrested me. That is active. And passive, I was arrested by the police.
yeah, that's right.
But in this video, it is mixed.
Yeah, the first part we could find simple past and its passive form, right? That's what I told you. Here onwards, tense is going to change. Okay, what you said is absolutely right. Nothing is there to explain. Simple past and the passive form is clear, I think. Right? But here it is present perfect, then comes another tense. I already told you that in the news reports and all, they'll report a recently happened things. If it is recent incidents, we have to use present perfect. Okay. Got it? So, the robbed cash hasn't been discovered. Hasn't been. The negative sentence. If hasn't been is there together, this is passive present perfect. Just understand that. Or haven't been. Another example is, they have called me. They have called me. How to change into passive? Keep in mind that in the present perfect passive, we have to use been. Been. Be double E.
I haven't been called by them.
I have been called by them. Okay. I called her. Sorry, I have called her. I have called her. I have called her. How to change into passive?
I have been calling her.
She has been
I
called.
have been.
By me is not needed. Actually, she has been called. Okay, another sentence. He has introduced me.
I was introduced
He
by
has
him.
introduced me.
I have been introduced
By him is not needed, actually it's right anyway. Normally we are neglecting that part. I have been introduced. Okay. Someone else by someone else. This way we have to change present perfect to its passive. Okay. Shall I give another example? Yeah, fine. He has stolen the cash. He has stolen the cash. Fatima,
The cash has been stolen.
the cash has been stolen by them. He hasn't stolen the cash. Amal,
the cash hasn't been stolen by
stolen. In all the passive
by
form, we
her.
have to use third form of the action word. Adish, got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me ask you, try to say the answer, okay? Okay, Fatima, give me a sentence in the active voice, present perfect.
She has been using the calculator.
She has its present perfect continuous. If ing is there, the action is continuing, right? She has used a calculator.
Yeah.
Adish, she has used a calculator. Adish, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
She has used a calculator. Adish,
Has used.
a calculator.
Ma'am, 1 minute. I'll be back.
Amal, what
Yeah.
is the passive form of it?
She has used a calculator, right?
Yeah.
The calculator has been used by.
That is present perfect and the passive form. Suppose the sentence is like, she's writing poems. How to change into passive? Present continuous, right? Ongoing action.
The poems is being written by her.
Poems are being written by her. Right?
Ma'am, can I leave? I am shifting my house.
Okay.
I can leave?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Okay. So if the sentence is in present continuous form, okay, while changing it into passive, we have to use being in the passive form, right? Being has to be used. Got it? If we are changing present continuous to its passive form, we will normally use being, B-E-I-N-G, not B-W-E-N. Okay, that's right. As poems are more than one poem, right? So poems is, we will never say. All the basics we know. Poems are being written by them. That is the format. Okay? So let me play the video. After that, it will be clear.
The robbers are now being questioned
See.
by the police. It is hoped that the money will be finally recovered from them. More details will be provided soon.
So his story was true.
And earlier today, some animals escaped from the zoo. One of the animal feeders had a seizure right when they were opening the animal cages. And the animals were released from their cages by mistake. The animals were recaptured by the zoo and they were put back into their cages. The animal feeder is now being treated in the hospital after collapsing in the zoo.
I'm going to call him right now.
Hello?
Hi, Jerry. It's Carlos. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I just watched the news. They were talking about how a car was stolen and how the animals were accidentally released. I want you to know that I trust you and feel like I can rely on you.
Thanks. I appreciate you saying that.
And Jerry,
Yeah?
in the future, I must be notified immediately when something happens to you.
Sure. I will notify you immediately from now on.
We use the passive voice when the action is more important than the person who does it. We form the passive voice with the verb to be plus past participle.
Better to forget all the technical terms. Okay, that's why I just skipped it. So you know how to change that, right? Suppose the sentence is like, you're watching a movie. Okay,
What?
you're watching movie.
You.
We are watching movie.
Okay.
How to change into past? Normally, you know, the thing is that we'll normally want to use the same in the day-to-day conversation. Suppose it is like this, structure-wise, it will be like the movie was being watched by us. Normally, day-to-day conversation is not, it's awkward actually. For the sake of as it is there in the textbook, we are learning. That's all. Okay. And one more thing is there. Yes, so you don't want to learn that. Okay. Open the door. It's actually an order, right? The thing is that the passive form of let the door be opened. It will appear only in dramas and all, right? Such dialogues. Let the door be opened like that. Normally we are not using it and it's of no use actually. But we have to sometimes, especially simple present, not present perfect. In such case, simple past also. In such cases, we are applying the same to passive form, transforming into passive. As we can say the same news reports and all. Simple present, then present perfect and past form, their passive forms are having significance rather than others. We are learning the remaining only for the sake of learning, but the first three will be applied mostly in our day-to-day conversation. Got it? Shall I play it? Is it clear up to this? Do you have any concerns?
Yes, miss.
No.
You might have seen hundreds of explainer videos on the subject of passive voice, but still don't have a clue about past participle. Just look into a table of irregular. In the present tense, we use the present forms of be.
The third form of the verb is called past participle action. Sorry, present participle. And actually, we don't want to learn all the technical elements. That's why I didn't explain it in detail. Just understand that verb is having three forms mainly. Okay.
And a past participle. For example, the flowers are watered. Are, which is the present form of be, and the past participle of the verb water. The flowers are in its past participle form, which I found in the third column of irregular verbs. This car is.
We have to discuss how to change simple present to passive form, right? For example, I prepare food.
The food was prepared.
Was no this. It's simple present. I prepare food. It's not prepared. It's not finished action.
I prepare.
Food is prepared by
The
me.
food will be prepared.
Food is prepared by me. I write poem. Poem is written by me. I write poems. Poems are written by me. She called me. I am called by her. Simple present, passive form, normally we use is or are. Then V3 form, that's all. Okay. The simple past we normally use was or were, right? Like that in simple present we have to use is or are. That's all. For example, she calls me, I am called by her. Okay. She called me, I was called by her. That way we have to change. We already discussed the same, I think. Is there any doubt regarding that? Should I explain it?
Made of cheap plastic. If you drop is from the sentence, it's no longer passive voice. If you use a form of a verb other than the past participle, it's no longer passive voice. Keep that in mind. In the past tense, we use the past forms of be and a past participle. For example, you might have seen hundreds of
Just, you can skip that video. I think it's of no use actually.
Yeah.
Simply explain it.
Voice, active and passive. In grammar, the voice of a verb describes object or the verb passive voice. In all ways, that is first.
Okay, you just don't want to focus on this segment, okay? So the examples only. Ricky cleans the garden. Which tense is used there? Ricky cleans the garden. Which tense?
Simple.
Yeah. Every day he does the same, right? So normally the passive form will be the garden is cleaned by Ricky simply. Okay. Then next is he removed the weeds. Which tense? He removed.
Simple past.
Yeah, simple past. So the weeds more than one past form. So we have to use where. The weeds were removed by him. Okay. He is watering the plants. Which tense?
Present continuous.
Yeah, the plants are being watered by him. I really like those terms. That's why I'm speaking all of this. Simple and yeah. A doctor prescribes medicines. Simple present, right? Medicines are prescribed by a doctor. That's it. That's all about active and passive. So clear? Then as exam begins on Monday, right? You don't be having enough time to revise
Yeah.
the remaining part. One more thing actually planned. That was comparative degrees. Comparative adjectives and comparative adverbs you already learned, right? Let me give you a few adjectives. Adjectives means describing nouns. Adverb means describing actions. Just leave it and let me ask you a few words and their comparative and superlative forms. Okay? Tall,
Taller.
attractive,
More attractive. More
pretty,
attractive. Most
pretty.
attractive.
Prettier,
Yeah.
prettiest.
Then
I did not hear that.
pretty. Then funny.
Pretty.
Funniest.
Okay, when we use the comparative degrees, if you want to compare things, you'll be using comparatives like he's beautiful, he's more beautiful than the other one, not he, she. If we are saying he, we have to say handsome, right? She's more attractive than her, he's intelligent than him. So here we're comparing them, right? This is where we use the comparative degrees. If nothing is there to compare, the person is the topmost one, we'll always use the superlative. For example, this is the tallest person in the class. No one is there to beat. No one is there to compare, right? Hence superposition. This is the most attractive place in the city. No place is there to compare. This is the most topmost one. It's called superlative. Okay. Then let me ask you, innocent. Innocent?
Innocent.
More innocent.
More innocent, most innocent. Okay. Then lovely.
More love, lovelier,
Yeah.
loveliest.
Then active.
More active, most active.
Then, okay, Amal, you just ask a few words to Fatima just to fix all the things in your mind, okay? Have 10 more minutes, like, should never spoil it. Okay, Amal, you may ask.
Angry,
Angry, angry, angriest.
Yeah. Fatima, you can ask. It's your turn.
Cheeky,
What is it?
cheeky.
trickier, trickiest.
Yeah. As it ends with the letter Y. So in the word interlation, how many syllables are there?
4.
Yeah. In, K, E, S. Y. So we have already learned that if the word is having more than one syllable, we have to use either less or least or more or most. And if the word ends with the letter Y also, we have to add IER, IE. If the word is having only one syllable, IER, IE. Okay. And Fatima, you may ask a word to Amal. Just like that, you may practice. The same way you can practice.
Enthusiastic.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, what about Amal? Can you answer it?
More enthusiastic, most
Or you can say
enthusiastic.
less enthusiastic. If the person is not enthusiastic, we may use less enthusiastic and least enthusiastic. Both are right. Okay. Depends on the situation. Fine. Amal, it's your turn. What is it?
Nervous,
Nervous, more nervous, most nervous.
Okay.
health, screaming,
That's why I repeatedly ask you whether you have any concerns over any grammar segments. I have been asking the same, right?
I didn't understand what Jaren did.
That way you have to ask me. This is time for making all this clear. So, gerund we already learned. It's actually in the form of a verb, but it's not a verb. Duplicate verb actually. Okay. I'm swimming.
Miss, what's the word?
Sorry?
What's the word?
Gerund. Gerund.
Miss, could you type it?
Oh my god, you forgot all these things.
Thank you.
Okay. So see, I'm swimming. What am I doing?
Swimming.
So what am I doing? It's an action word, swimming, right? But see the next sentence, there's a slight difference. Swimming is good for health. What is good for health? Something is good for health, right? That is swimming. Here we treated the word swimming not as the verb, but as something else, right? I am swimming means what am I doing at this moment? Another example, alcohol is harmful to our body, right? Alcohol is bad to our health. So what is bad to our health? The same way we are using swimming is good for health. Got it? When we look at it, we may feel like, oh, it's a verb action, word ing is there, swimming is an action. But the context is that the same is applied as a noun, verbal noun, in the form of a verb, but does the action of a noun. That is gerund. Let me give you another example.
Okay.
I'm exercising now. Is it a verb or gerund?
Verb.
Exercising is good for health. Yeah,
Gerund.
the thing is, sometimes it may appear at the end of the sentence or sometimes the beginning, but the thing is that you have to understand what does it mean. Okay, if it is treated as a thing, we have to use it as gerund. Okay, another example, I'm talking with her. Now she's talking too much. Okay, talking too much is not good for health.
Second one is
Yeah,
gerund.
normally when I gave you examples, you could say that. But the thing is that on seeing the sentence, you may get confused. Whether the same is gerund or verb like that. So you may give me an example for gerund and verb. Can you?
Sleeping is good.
Mm.
Sleeping is
Mm.
good for health.
Gerund or verb?
The first one is a verb. The second one
Sorry?
is
Sleeping is
gerund.
good for health.
That's
Yeah.
gerund.
I'm sleeping.
Verb.
Amal, can you give me an example? Is it clear?
Yeah. Verb. Yes. Verb is I'm watching TV. Watching and gerund is watching TV gives strength twice.
Okay. So have you got the difference? Then what we have learned then? Tense over, active and passive over, gerund over, then can you recollect any?
Present perfect, past perfect, simple present, simple past, present continuous, past
That's what we
continuous.
discussed, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Present, and I forgot to mention present perfect continuous, right? Present perfect continuous means an action began in the past and is still going on. In between, Fatima had given me an example for that. Accidentally happened. She actually meant present perfect, but the example was present perfect continuous. You have given me an example, right?
Can you say an example?
Example is, I have been taking class for 1 hour. Actually, an hour before I started taking class, right? Began in the past. But now it's going on. It's not finished. See, here I mentioned the time, duration, an hour, right? I have been taking class for an hour. Duration is shown. The time span is shown. Yeah. Working over, no, working for 3 hours. Okay. And another example is, I have been working in the school since 2020. For example, okay, not like that. I have been working in school since 2010, for example. Since a particular point of time is shown there, right? Exact point of time. If it is an exact point of time, we have to use since. S-I-N-C-E. And if you're showing a duration of something, we have to use for. Okay. Then she has been working on for 3 hours. She has been working here since 2020. Difference is there, right? Okay. Then can you give me an example for present perfect continuous? The title itself suggests that an action began in the past, still it's going on. We have been going to the restaurant since 2000. Yeah. Now also the same happens, right? Yeah. Another example.
She has
We have
been working. She has been working here for 20 years.
For 20 years. Yeah, it's a duration, right? Right. Then Fatima, can you make a sentence using a since?
We have been using this clock since 2018.
And is it true?
No.
Okay. So, Burger King start. No, that is not present perfect. It's actually the thing is understood. You know one thing? Nowadays, English is undergoing a lot of changes. We are moving away from tenses, grammatical rules, and it's undergoing a lot of changes. So, as she mentioned here, we start the burger. What is it? The Burger King started making burgers since 1954. It's understood actually. She hasn't used any tenses, nothing is there, but the concept or the message is understood, right? Yeah, has been making burgers. That's the right, almost the same meaning. But for the sake of it,
It's actually true.
is true. Okay. So she already told me that. She already mentioned that the Burger King started making, what is it? Burgers since 1954, and Burger King has been making burgers since 19. Okay, both these are having almost the same meaning. But if you want to show the duration of something, we may normally use present perfect continuous. That's the only thing. Okay, got it? But
Yeah.